I don't want this truck, I need it. It's one of the coolest trucks that Ram makes. I'll include a link to the Larry H. Miller Dodge Ram Insanity's website in the description down below. They're providing us with this truck. It is available for sale. Let's get right into it. Today's giveaway highlight is a 1970 Mustang Boss 302. So use code BHC or click the link in the description down below to receive 4X bonus entries on any donation $25 or more. Powering this is a 5.7 liter Hemi V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 16 around town, 20 on the highway with power outputs being 395 horsepower and then 410 pound-feet of torque. This does have e-torque assist. If you're looking for more straight to the point reviews like this, make sure you subscribe. This red is one of the most beautiful colors I have ever seen on a Ram. It's good. You can see the headlight bezel's blacked out, the whole front grille is blacked out, we got recovery points, parking sensors, fog lights. You do have a pretty big air dam at the bottom. But overall, the front end of this truck looks fantastic. 275 by 70 by 18 for the tire and wheel setup. Pretty aggressive tread pattern. Again, it's got the same tires and wheels as the Rebel. And guess what? It also has the shocks from the Rebel. And then because it's got the Hemi, you've got the little badge there on the side. Another Ram badge. Warlock decal here on the back. And then it is coil sprung just like other Ram 1500s. And again, more Bilstein shocks in the back. When it comes to the configuration, crew cab with the shorter bed. And it's body and frame. Solid axle in the back. Independent suspension up front. We've got lock and unlock remote start here on the key fob. Ram logo there on the back. And, well, that's slow lowers, which is nice. There's not much to talk about on the bed. Could use some bed liner, but, you know. Yeah, not bad. Anyways, that's light. You do get the baseline taillights. You can see all the badging here in the back. And then I love the exhaust. Just listen to the little... It's got a nice rumble. There's a spare tire underneath, but it's not like all-terrain like the other one. Well, it's kind of mild all-terrain, but it's not as aggressive. So, anyways, that's the exterior. Let's check out this interior. Regular glass in the back. This is all hard touch, but easy to clean. Got more storage in the bottom. And then here are the seats. Got this nice cloth trim here. It is a 60-40 split, so you can just pick up this one seat. You can do the other two seats. We do have the storage buckets on either side. You got this for more storage on the seats. We do have some vents in the back, and of course tons of space here in the back. Also, power sliding rear window. Let's now take a look at the front. Blind spot monitoring, thicker glass up front. This is all hard touch. We do have automatic for the windows up front, and then you'll notice the mirror adjustments. Payload on this is 1297. Towing capacity is going to be around 11,000 pounds because it's got a 392 rear end. And then here's the front seat cloth. It is manual with the adjustments. All of your light controls here. Now here's a quick look at the steering wheel itself. Got a little bit more basic trim. On the front face of the steering wheel, we've got our cruise control adaptive. You have your gear limiter function, controls for the center stack, little windshield wiper, turn signal stalk there in the back. Partially analog, partially digital cluster. You can change what's in that center screen, depending on what you're looking for information-wise. And then the dash is going to be kind of, again, more basic with the trim. You do have a 12-volt there at the top. Just a backup camera in reverse. It does have a little zoom in, which is pretty nifty. And then as for the infotainment system, yeah, pretty darn quick to respond. Physical controls below for the radio, the climate, single zone climate in this. Got your parking sensors, your tow mode, trailer brake controls. This does come with the dial shifter, but that frees up space. And you'll notice it's got a part-time system with a 2-speed transfer case. It also has a diff lock, just like the Rebel, off-road cruise, auto stop start. Unlike what you see in Rebels, look at this bench seat. So you got that. Does this have the storage? Yeah, it has the storage cubby underneath too. That's nice. And then you'll notice we've got some USB ports there. You also have a little storage tray. You got the kind of double glove box setup. Ram 1500 Warlock with the Hemi. It looks like someone's dog got to this one. But at least we have the total MSRP. You can see $60,010. Let's take this out and see how it performs. I think I found the one. I mean, this is such a cool truck. It really reminds me of that second Rebel that I bought for the channel all those years back. But you know what's crazy? This sticker's for more than that Rebel. So that Rebel was coil sprung, had the Hemi, panoramic sunroof. It was obviously a Rebel. $59K MSRP, and I paid like $44 for it because there's huge discounts back then. But now you get a Warlock for $60K, and there's discounts nowadays, but Yeah, it's just crazy. But yeah, I really do like the concept of this truck. You know, basically you're getting a work truck, which Ram's work trucks are the nicest. The seats are incredibly comfortable. You get thicker glass up front. It's quiet. It's a very nice ride. So it's like, even though it's a work truck, I mean, like, this is, I would say that Ram's work truck interior is as nice as what you get with a Ford XLT. It's even nicer than an XLT, frankly. Or like a Chevy, you know, LT or RST. Like, it's just, and there's plastics, but the plastics feel high quality in this. So, it's just a nice truck. And the Hemi makes it exciting. I think this is the first time I've seen a Warlock with a Hemi, because usually they have the 3.0, and I love the new inline 6. It's got great power, good fuel economy, but V8 noise. And the other thing is, as smooth as that new inline 6 is, the immediate response that this has, and the fact that it, you know, builds power throughout, it's really nice. But I will say the inline 6, like, when you compare NA truck engine to turbo truck engine with most manufacturers, the NA engine usually wins. I don't know if that's the case with Ram. I think that inline 6 is so good with the performance that, because it has a top end, unlike most turbo engines, it actually gets really good fuel economy in the real world. It just doesn't sound good. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner at best. It's the only downside. This does not. Gotta love V8 power. NA V8 horsepower. Doesn't really get any better than that. So, this truck, oh, and it's got a 400 watt inverter too, an actual outlet. Forgot about that. This truck, I think, is like peak Ram right now. And don't get me wrong, like the higher ends, like the Limited's cool, the Tungsten's cool, the RHO's cool, the new TRX is gonna be cool. And I just saw that they're gonna be doing like a street-oriented version of the TRX, where it's like wide-bodied and lowered and all that kind of stuff. That's cool. But for the average Joe, this is somewhat attainable. $60,000 is a lot, but again, there's always discounts on these Rams. Somewhat attainable for the average Joe, and it just drives so well, and it's exciting. It sounds good. This really is a cool machine, well-tuned machine too. So let me know your thoughts on the Warlock with the Hemi. But my thought is always, as always, it's free to test drive. When you're looking at a pickup truck, like if you're not test driving, we only have 4 pickup truck, like full-size pickup truck automakers in the US now, because Nissan got rid of the Titan. And GM, obviously, people say, oh, because GM has different brands, but really you've got, you know, GM, and you can just put the Silverado and Sierra together. Ford, Ram, Toyota. You have 4 trucks that you have to drive. That's it. Go drive all of them. And I think that a lot of you that are Toyota cultists and a lot of you that are F-150 cultists, there's not as many GM cultists anymore, because the engine's blown up enough that people are kind of, oh, I forgot, I gotta take this somewhere else. People are kind of like not as loyal to GM as they used to be. But I'd be willing to bet a lot of you, after actually driving the Ram rather than just being a keyboard warrior and be like, hey, Ram sucks, even though you've never even driven one, that you'd be like, wow, this is a nice truck. This is quiet. It's comfortable. Let me know your thoughts.